Ms. Clark? Here. Mr. Zugami?
Here.
Mr. Maloney?
Here.
And Mr. Helgeson?
Here.
And Mr. Jablonski is excused.
Announcements and statements from the audience. Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, Defense Health Bureau Street, Weston. Yet another month has passed and the Oversight Board has neglected to tell the story of the Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department. The creation of this police department from two departments has saved taxpayers money. I did the research to prove that. Not a peep of this has been embraced by the Oversight Board. You all have done nothing to communicate that with our residents. There's a real need for a new police building. The current Rothschild PD and former EMPD locations would not be cost effective to retrofit and operate out of. I would again strongly urge this body to please put in the work and tell the story of the department. Explain to the residents why this project is necessary. Show a timeline and tell folks how we got here. Accept responsibility for the shortcomings and extremely poor communication you have had to date with the public. Just fix it. The taxpayers are not happy. They feel like they do not have a say. They are not informed. We feel betrayed. At the Weston Village Board of Trustees meeting on Monday, Trustee Clark suggested that the village reach out to the public to get more information out to the public and get their feedback. That action should be taking place here, as this is not a Weston project. I would venture to guess that the residents of Rothschild would not oppose more information on the project and an outlet to give feedback. The DC Everett School District snail mailed every single resident this week doing exactly what we need to be doing. They showed statistics. They showed real data and cost. They demonstrated need. They communicated why they're in need of repairing or replacing an aging school building. They explained why the option they are pursuing is the path they chose. They showed the homework done to get to this point. If through all the layers of bureaucracy in a school district, they can create a communication piece and tell the story, the five of you certainly should be able to do the same. It's high time you put in the work. You only get out what you put in. Zero effort in equals zero results out. Trustee Zagami at that same meeting on Monday criticized the slow speed of this project and how long it's taken to get to the bidding stage. And this project is going to cost more now because many contractors have their calendar full for the year. While he is not wrong, I want to remind him and the rest of you that you are the ones controlling this process. The speed it moves forward, the information shared with the public, every single aspect lies on your shoulders. If you're not satisfied with how it's moving, take a look in the mirror and talk to that guy or girl about how to go about fixing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Anybody else? Minutes of the previous meeting.
Anyone on?
Anybody online? Minutes of the previous meeting, Oversight Board meeting minutes of April 23rd, 2026. Any corrections, changes? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve? Move to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Motion by Zagami, second by Maloney. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item number 4, budget to actual. Melanie or Chief?
The only comment I have is we got some great news about our credit card rebate. That money from 2024 and 2025 came in April. So you'll see that as a new revenue line in miscellaneous revenues.
Very good. Anything else to add?
Nothing to add, pretty status quo for the month.
Very good. Thank you. Agenda item number 5, discussion and possible action regarding current status of Mountain Bay Metropolitan Police Department project with the Bolt Company and HTG and final billing costs.
So right now we have Tom on here from HTG and then Dustin is here. I thought it was good for Tom to come on and give us an update on where he is on the construction design of the building. Tom, do you want to go ahead with that?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, we're about 2 weeks away from being completed with the drawings, but we've hit a pause because, as I understand it, there's a well, I thought Bolt was going to be on this call as well, but there seems to be still some issue between Bolt and Mountain Bay. So anyway, we haven't been paid for our work since I think November. So anyway, once we can get that resolved, we're about 2 weeks away from having drawings ready to go. And then what's on the screen right now is our proposal to pick it up and have contract direct then with Mountain Bay Police Department to do the bidding and the construction management.
Okay. As far as the billing portion of it, we are up to par on our end of it. We had up to billing number 7. So I don't know where the disconnect is coming from on Bolt's end, but Matt was invited to come today. I did talk to him on the phone. So is there any other issues going on with the design or anything like that? Or are you just waiting to get paid from Bolt?
Yeah, we're just in a holding pattern until we can get caught up and paid. So
Okay.
When did this issue come up? If you haven't been paid since November, when does this issue come up? I mean, have we been notified? How many times have we been notified?
This is the first I've heard about it
Okay.
as of now.
So you're holding this project hostage by not getting this done for 2 weeks? You're in a holding pattern, you said? Because you're not getting paid by Bolt?
correct. Yeah.
So we're going to pay the penalty for this. That's a question to you, Tom.
Well, I'm not sure what you want me to do. I mean, how long would you work for someone if you hadn't been paid for 6 months?
Well, how long would you wait to say something for 6 months?
Oh, no, this discussion's been going on. We've been going back and forth with both for a number of months
But this is the first time you've told us.
that we're going to hold. No, it's not. Chief and Hushang and Matt all have heard that for weeks now.
Yeah, I wasn't under the impression that we were holding. I knew that there was some discussion with Bolt on that.
So when have you quit? When have you quit work? You're quitting work for 2 weeks, or you quit work prior to this date today?
Our plan was to be done the end of this month and have it ready. So we're
Yeah, that's not
pausing.
my question.
As of today, we're holding.
Okay, so you could have had this done as of today, but since you
No.
haven't gotten paid, now you're gonna wait 2 more weeks, or what?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying our plan was to be done the end of May, ready to bid June 1.
We got Matt on. Matt, you there?
Yep, you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we're just talking about billing here and where things are at.
Okay,
And I just explained that as far as we're up to par on our end of it. And we had that bill number 7 that was out there, which has gotten paid already. And I don't know if the money's in transaction yet or what, but Tom is talking that he didn't get anything since last year. So we just want to see where we're at because now we're 2 weeks out more on the project. So
yeah, and I think you and I spoke this morning. I sent that across. That last we owe one more billing, a final billing, but the one that's in I think question is billing 7. It was sent around March timeframe, which includes 2 bills from HTG. One was from just prior to the end of the year, and then as you said, the beginning of the year. So those are the 2 Tom's referencing. I don't show. I had the gals check again this morning that we've received it, so it could very well be, lost in translation or in the mail, or I'm not sure exactly what the process is on your end as far as getting that cleared, but I don't show that we've received anything to date. So,
Matt, this is Mark Maloney on the board here for the Oversight.
hey, Mark.
And prior to you getting on this call, Tom was referencing that they have not been paid since November. And now we're going to pay the penalty because they've basically stopped work on this project because they have not gotten paid by you. Now, if this has been talked about, between the 2 companies or a little bit with this board, why is it first coming up today that we're all hearing about this?
Yeah, I think
Why would we, I mean, here we are with this huge sense of urgency that we want to move this forward. And now we're on a bill dispute? And you're having a bill dispute with the architects? I mean, explain this a lot further so that we can understand why we're being penalized for this.
Yeah, so Tom's obviously been working since November. There was a catch-up period with some of the delays in reengineering to where we held submitting those bills until, like I said, March. So the due date on the invoice was April. And that's where I can't remember the exact date, but we got a hold of Ryan and Chief and kind of gave them a foresight to say, okay, here's the bill that's outstanding. Here's what the forecast is to be billed. At that point, that's when, Tom has said, hey, I'm not willing to go any further until we get that cleared up and that bill is paid. So I'll say it's, again, he's done work since obviously November and done a lot of efforts since that time. It's really been the last couple of weeks that it's been on hold. And again, I'd love to know where that payment is. We've had a couple issues, not with Mountain Bay or Rothschild or anything, but where something hasn't cleared and it usually means something. So I'm curious to understand where that's at actually, if it's been processed.
But you're referencing yourself. You're referencing your own company not paying that bill. You would love to know why your own company has not paid HTG, correct?
Yeah, but correct. No, that's not what I'm asking, or not what I'm saying. I don't have the money to pay HTG is my point. He's provided us bills. I don't, till I receive that money from Mountain Bay Village Rothschild, I can't physically put that out there.
So we have an invoice that's we have not paid you?
According to Chief, it's been processed. Whether the payment's been released, I think is what's in question. We don't show a record having received anything. We were supposed to receive something around 16th, 17th of April. Obviously, that was a little over a month ago.
We had a discussion, me, you, and Ryan, about the billing stuff. And at that point was really when we had our first discussion because we wanted to make sure everything was being accounted right.
Yep.
And so at that point, I was under the impression that we were still okay because everything was being processed. The check is sitting right here in this room to be signed this afternoon. So I had sent that down prior to this, but because checks are signed today, that's where it is right now. Okay. I just asked while we're sitting here. But the point is I was not under any information that we were stopping doing anything because we had a contract and we were working through our billing part of this. When Tim left, we were pretty absent, and Tom will testify that where's Bolt? And Tom, have we had those discussions because we didn't know what was happening? And then all of a sudden we went from February until April and we didn't know where anybody is from Bolt. And so we understand you got put into a predicament, but I wasn't under any thought process that we were losing 2 weeks on the project. I thought we were still moving forward as we were working through that billing question that was there.
I've got a question. If this check is, they're going to be signed today, and if there was any misunderstanding or accounting issues, how do we expedite those 2 weeks to move this thing forward, to speed it, to equate for the 2 weeks that we lost? And question for Bolt is, can that be expedited to pick up that 2 weeks of gap?
I think the question is yes, and I'm going to look to Tom, who's physically doing the work. I think, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I need check in hand, but hearing that there is a check and it's not lost somewhere in the mail or something, I'm comfortable to say, okay, Tom, let's continue to move forward, and we'll do our best to get him caught up on those payments as fast as we can. But I guess Tom, I'll look to you to say, okay, we kind of put things on pause for 2 weeks, and I'll take the blame for that to say, hey, I wanted to make sure Tom was whole, and but to speak to, is there an opportunity to get back that 2 weeks, or what needs to be done to resurrect that?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, our plan has been to be done at the end of this month or early June, and part of that is, the project's been going through the Village of Weston's planning and review board, so we're planning to be able to pick up any comments that came out of those meetings into the final drawings and ready to go. So
So if I heard you correctly, that this will be done by the end of May.
right. I can go back and check with everybody to make sure we're on track for that, but at the latest, it'd be the first week in June. So we're not 2 weeks off, or at the most 1 week off, if we can get this resolved.
Okay.
So what's the turnaround on these checks? If we get these checks to Matt, to Bolt, and then Bolt's got to process them and get them to Tom, are you gonna wait, Tom, to get those checks in hand? Or are you gonna trust that these exist? We can photocopy them, we can
Yeah.
send them to you, have them
Yeah,
in the
I mean-
mail, or we can overnight them to Bolt, so Bolt can get the expenses paid to you.
Yeah, as soon as Matt gives me a green go, thumbs up, he's got the funds, then we're good to go. Yeah. Whether
Yeah, I
that's
think it's between,
check in
I'll say,
hand.
not to muddy the waters, I think it's between, I'll say Bolt and Mountain Bay, and there's some things that we can do on our end, just like anybody, right? Checks go out on Friday, but we can do some early pay releases. And like I said, I want to make sure Tom's doing the legwork here. I want to make sure he's whole. So.
Any other questions?
But it's very disappointing. As far as I'm concerned. This is a snail's pace. Okay, I have no more questions.
Michael, Tom, did you have questions? Michael's here from the Village of Weston, and he is part of the zoning stuff that went through the planning and zoning meetings. Did you have any questions for him since he's sitting here, or Michael, did you have questions for Tom or any comments on anything?
No, I think Dustin got some feedback from our planning director earlier today. It's nothing of any substantial. I think just
Dustin, do you have anything for us?
No, I already got the landscaping comments addressed. That's already been sent over to me. I just have to add a setback line on sheet C4 for pavement. So that'll be all out by the end of the day.
Okay, was there any other questions on the building stuff? Husheng?
I'll send the answer to Tom. Did you get my email? Tom?
Yeah, and I
That
think what I'd
answer your
like,
question?
yes. What I'd like to do is, find a date, Chief and Husheng, and maybe just come and sit with you one more time here and flip through the drawings before we issue those. So that
I'm
could
good,
be
you
early
just-
as next week. So,
You're fine, just tell me when.
yep.
Yeah, but Tom, you also send your spec for us to review it, because I'm not gonna review your spec, really. That's your job and your staff, not us. We're not gonna review it. We're gonna point out the things we think we needed, but it's not reviewing the spec and the plan and make a correction and that sort of things.
Sure. Yeah, we're ready to run it through our internal QC review. So that will happen starting next week. So,
Great.
Okay. We need Tom for the next agenda item here.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 6, discussion of possible action regarding building project details, final design and building specifications regarding HVAC, BAS controls, networking systems, etc., furniture, fixtures, and equipment procurements, soft costs, construction costs. Chief?
I
yeah,
think
Chief, I let you know we didn't have anything under that item to discuss today.
Yeah,
So-
we had to get everything on the agenda here so we could have an open discussion, so it's transparent that what we're gonna talk about, and I just wanted to make sure that if there was anything that was coming up, and I didn't have additional stuff, we're just waiting for all the specs and the drawings and stuff, so. Anybody on the board have it?
Mark? Shane, got? Nope. Should be good.
Okay.
Moving on, agenda item number 7, discussion of possible action regarding contractual agreement with HTG for bid and construction.
Yeah, so this is our proposal that's on the screen that's being shared. So this, you remember, our contract with Bolt is to produce the drawing set. And now then we need a new contract direct with Mountain Bay. This is to take the project through the bidding and then into construction phase. So
I think we discussed this contract with regard to your insurance, and it still is the same language in here, and I suggest this contract be reviewed by our attorney, especially the last two paragraphs.
yeah, that would be great. Again, you can see this was dated March 11th. So I mean, we knew
Yeah,
this was coming. So this has been out there for 2 months. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting your comments back. So
Well, I'll make some comment on the insurance, and I said these two community, these two village do not accept that kind of insurance. You have to give us the full insurance plus have these two community and the police department on the insurance also. And I'm sure you're familiar with that, and you have done it for other community. But I think this should be also reviewed by attorney.
yeah, like I said, as soon as we get this proposal done, then we want to get an AIA contract official, and in front of you. And I'm sure you'll want your attorneys to review that as well. So
Anybody else?
This is some uncharted territory for me and probably a lot of people that are on the board.
I'll be happy to sit down with the attorney.
Is there, I'm just thinking to help expedite that, Tom and others, is it worth, and I'm not trying to suggest something, I'm just wondering, is there a way to review the AAA contract that you'd propose, Tom, along with this together? Should they say,
Yes,
yeah,
early.
we're aligned with
Yes.
the scope, and hey, we like the contract, let's make it happen?
If this is out of, out of our, realm, whatever, and also the police department, we could certainly use Michael and Tim. I mean, it was suggested almost 2 or 3 months ago, that we get them involved, so,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, Tim Vigera and Michael, this is what you guys do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest question is, so you're saying this is just your proposal, but then you'll have a separate AIA doc for the actual contract. So I feel like there's 2 agreements being signed and only one actually probably needs to be signed. Right?
this document is really outlining the project specific scope,
Yeah.
right? For your project, the AIA just has a lot more other general contractual items in it. But
Yeah, that'll have the
we can
insurance
draft
and the
that.
liability. Yeah.
Yeah. We can get that to you probably by tomorrow. The one that we're proposing to use, so you can have the lawyers review it all together simultaneously. This really becomes an exhibit, attached
Correct.
to the AIA contract. So
Yeah.
Yep. Anybody else? Moving on, agenda item number 8, discussion regarding police day-to-day operation activities, structure of employees in police department, update on police department equipment and flock cameras. Deputy Chief or Chief Hunt?
Thanks, Tom, and if you can give me that information and Matt, and so as soon as I get it, I'll get it to Michael and to the attorney, and we'll go from there.
okay.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dustin.
Right, thank you.
Now, section of police activity.
Sure. Nick's gonna give a quick report on where we are on
Yes,
police department up to date.
Yep, so just some updates on staffing. So Trevor Asmundson started about 4 weeks ago. So he's 4 weeks into training. He's doing well so far. Alexander Mahalis graduated North Central Tech last week. He actually starts this upcoming Tuesday. So our sworn staff working will be 39 with him in training. Our third individual, Cole Annan, has his physical readiness testing tomorrow at NWTC in Green Bay. And then possibly tomorrow or early next week, he'll come in and get sworn in so he's ready to go through the academy at NWTC in Green Bay. Another thing regarding staffing, K9 Tanner is now certified and in service. In his first 2 shifts, he got 17 grams of drugs off a traffic stop in the city of Schofield. So we're already seeing some results off of the new K9. For equipment, we have both K9 cars that were purchased through the fundraising. They've been built with the police equipment installed. They're both in service right now. The two old canine cars will still be kept. One had 19,000 engine idle hours on it, so they're older with potentially a little more fragile, but they're going to be used for spare canine cars and for patrol with gaps. And that way, if one of the newer cars goes in for service or repair, they don't have to leave their canine partner at home. They can just jump into another car, continue work. Another thing, Chief Briggs from Riverside provided us with 2 first aid kits that he donated to our department with tactile EMS, like bandages and whatnot for our training. So if we ever have an accident or an issue, we can help our staff. For training for our staff, we're still planning and preparing for a joint rescue task force critical incident training, which will be at DC Everest Middle School in July. And then within the last month, most of our department completed EVOC training, which is required every 2 years to be certified. We're also in the process of a CIB audit. We have to do those every 3 years. This is the first one for the new department. And that's where we get audited on how we use people's personal information, running people through DOT files to make sure that what we're doing is accurate and correct.
So it was asked for us to put flock for discussion because there's a lot of controversy with flock cameras right now. And I think a lot of people are mistaking things. They think that all the cameras Michael has put up on his DOT traffic lights are all flock cameras and facial recognition cameras and everything else. And none of that is true. Nick's going to explain about flock and what it has done for us and what it actually is here briefly.
Yep. So we kind of previously discussed flock when we signed the 5-year contract earlier this year. So flock is a system that takes photos of vehicles and license plates as they drive past, which is open to the public. Just like if you're parked in the parking lot, anybody can walk up to your vehicle and take a picture. Flock holds those pictures for 30 days, and then they get deleted out. They are connected through DOT files. So if we as law enforcement say this blue truck with this license plate was stolen, it'll be listed. So if somebody drives past a camera, law enforcement gets notified, hey, this vehicle was notified in the area. The other thing that we have, if people take plates off a vehicle, we can search make and model, and it'll recognize, a blue truck was here or a black Toyota Corolla was here at this time. So that's what flock does. For our internal controls and how we use it, we only have, I believe it's 11 people that have access to flock. And currently it's chief, myself, a captain, 2 lieutenants, 2 sergeants, 3 detectives, and our drug task force officer. The flock system tracks all our usage to show that we're not abusing it as well. So within the last 30 days, it was used 14 times by both lieutenants, 2 sergeants, a captain, and a detective, all for work purposes. And then we can track some of our successes, and here are just some successes that we had from flock. In 2024, we had that burglary or robbery in the town of Weston, which was solved in less than 24 hours. Person was in custody. We retrieved the firearms that were stolen and solved some other burglaries with that. In 2025, we had multiple thefts from vehicles. Using flock, we were able to solve it, made an arrest, and the individual was charged with 11 different thefts from vehicles based on the help from flock. We had ATM thefts recently in late 2025. Using flock as a tool, we were able to make some arrests with that. Some of that case is still ongoing. In 2026, flock helped us recover a vehicle that was listed as stolen, actually within the last week and a half. Also helped us solve a hit and run motor vehicle case. And very recently, we had multiple burglaries to bars in our area. And using flock as a tool, we were able to help solve those burglaries, make some arrests, and get a full confession on one of the individuals. So there is a purpose for it. We also, even though we're probably going to expand who has access to it, we're only allowing people who are either supervisors, detectives, or time 2 certified. And what time 2 certification means is we can go into the system and enter warrants for people, enter people as missing runaway, which if we misrepresent or enter wrong information, there can be some severe consequences for that. So we have various internal controls to make sure that it's not being abused. That's kind of flock in a nutshell.
Very good. Good report. That's good to hear. You had the internal controls of it. So that's very good.
And when you go in the system, you have to enter the reason why you're looking for a
Yes.
license plate. You can't just go in there and snoop around on something. You have to say this case or whatever. Did you have a question?
Very good.
Two questions. So is there a report that's triggered at the end of every month that somebody reviews? Like that would show if there was an increased unusual amount of use from one user, like for example, in Appleton, I know this was on the news recently. They're stopping their use of flat cameras because one of the officers was using it to
Track an
track a-
ex-boyfriend. Yeah.
So
yeah.
what we get as supervisors, so right now there are, I believe, 3 admins, and that's chief, myself, and Lieutenant Gaw. So we can see usage over times, like this says, total vehicle volume was 1.59 million. So I mean, it tracks every vehicle.
Mm.
It shows everything that we ran, who ran it, when it was ran, and the purpose. And then it shows us who, how many times, what days. It's like it shows that I last logged in December 8th of last year. So it tracks everything. We can see that if there is an abnormal use, that's something we can look into
Okay.
and find out who is running it, where they're running it from.
And I can assure you that if we have somebody that's using it for other purposes, they probably won't be working here anymore. And that's like anything. We have the time system, which is the same way. In the time system, you just can't run somebody's plate just to see who they are. And I mean, that's been around since I've been in law enforcement, and it's check and balance on that whole thing. So can bad things happen? Absolutely. Are they going to be a trust when they do? Absolutely. So go ahead.
Okay, then my second question is, have you guys, I don't monitor Facebook a lot, but have you guys put any pictures up to clarify, like those tall cameras on the stoplights are not the flat cameras, to like educate the public on what is a flat camera versus not?
And we normally don't put a lot of stuff out there on Facebook. And the reason is because we just don't want to pull a bunch of negative comments on things. However, we could put a map out there that says, here's where our flat cameras are. But even if we do, I know what people are going to say. Well, they're on the light poles by Target, and then people are going to go through the list of things. And we do a lot of things in law enforcement. We don't put it out there for the general public just because we don't want negative responses on things.
Oh, you also don't criminals knowing where they are. I mean, do any other municipalities put out where their locations are?
I'm not suggesting
Yeah.
that we put out where they're located,
Yeah.
but just that
About what they are?
the tall ones on the stoplights are not it.
We
They're,
can take a picture of what it is and put out and say, if you see one of these, this is a flat camera. But I just fearful that people are going to come back with negative stuff.
or maybe the better way to handle it would be for Weston to post on their Facebook page or a newsletter, the tall cameras and say, these are
Or-
what trigger the stoplights when you're sitting at the intersection.
Okay.
And then it leaves the flat camera out of it completely. It just educates.
I would like that. I would like that better.
Yeah.
We always have to be really cautious in law enforcement. Sometimes, people have freedom of speech and they don't always agree with us. We don't ever want to get into arguments with people over, even if they're kind of off base. The other thing, similar to what Mark mentioned, we have to be very careful on releasing our tactics, because
Sure.
if we show people all the tools we have and everything that we do, they can find ways around to.
Yeah. Well, one more question on the flock though was ownership and keeping the records. And I mean, I actually have more questions on this iPhone and what is being kept on my iPhone. I don't care what's being kept on here or the components in my car. Or my computer at home or my kids' computers. But I mean, I can't imagine what's being kept here or what's being seen here. I don't even want to know. I know that whatever is on here and what they see me doing, I'm not going to get in trouble. So I don't think we're going to look at flock cameras the same way. I think the way that Katrina just brought it up and some abuses that we've heard about, and if we have the controls in place, that's all we ask. I mean, it's a very helpful tool. And we can use other municipalities' flock cameras also.
The other thing is talking about records. So
Yeah.
Flocks, this came up, something happened in Washington where a department had a request for records. They released a bunch of Flock records, but really Flock is the record holder. They hold everything, they store everything, it deletes after retention. We can access it, but we are not really a record holder is just a.
Cell phones are the same thing, AT&T, and they all hold their own records. Yep.
The other thing that's kind of interesting is people that are driving Tesla vehicles. We just had a car crash where an individual was hit by a car. The Tesla owner said, here, you can have all my video of the whole thing because their car's constantly recording everything. Those cars are driving around recording you. So if you have a Tesla around you, you're on somebody's recording because it's on their car, and it's the same thing. Tesla holds all that stuff. It's interesting, and they got many cameras on those things. It's impressive. It was a high school kid age person that was struck by a vehicle, and they anyway, the case, it just helped us out, and here it is.
Yeah.
All the information.
Okay. Good.
Any other questions for Chief? Very good. Moving on. Announcements and statements from the Oversight Board.
The only thing I've got is we got to push on this building. You know, we got to pound away, find, you know, put our hand up, ask questions. Why is this happening? Why is it not happening? And pound away if we want to try to attempt at this year. So that's all I got.
Anybody else?
I do.
Go ahead.
Tom said he explained to Chief and I and about the billing. I really don't remember that, but also I don't care what dispute he has with Bolt. It's not our business. There's a contract with Bolt, they gotta work it out.
Mhm.
We have contract with Bolt. If Bolt has a problem, gotta bring it here, then we can work it out.
Right.
That's about it. And also he sent us, I said, send that back over here for us to review it. We're not gonna review that.
Right. Right.
Okay.
And already send some, maybe, I'll send him email, I said, all the bathroom fixtures should be mechanical. We don't want any battery, we don't want any sensor, we don't want any of that. Everything should be mechanical.
Okay.
So that's what I was asking.
Okay. Very good. Good. Anybody else? Seeing none. Set date, time, and agenda items for discussion at next meeting.
The third Thursday would be June 18th,
Does that work for everybody?
That works for me.
Same time?
3:30, sure.
3:30.
3:30 is good.
Very
And
good.
then would it be bringing back the contractual agreement after the attorneys review and approve, since there was no motion made?
Should we make it quicker? Can we do something in 2 weeks?
Agree with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried that we're getting out to the 18th.
I think we move as fast as possible, and then as soon as we have that,
So in 2 weeks would be Thursday, June 4th.
Okay with everybody?
I'd like to see the journey move faster on this
yeah,
project.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I'd say the 4th or the 11th.
We just need three. We just need three board members. That's all.
Well, I mean, as far as the date though,
Oh, okay.
the 4th or the 11th of June. Just to make sure he's done. I think by the 11th for sure, you should have everything ready to go.
Fourth I can do remotely. Okay.
I guess it
Yep.
depends on if the attorney would get it back in
Yep.
time.
Which do you want?
Mhm.
11th?
Let's take the first.
We'll schedule it right now with the 4th.
Let's do them both.
We can have the 11th if we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Start with the 4th at 3:30.
Yep.
If it is not back from the attorney by then, it would be scheduled for the 11th, but then you would be home.
I agree.
Okay.
it should really, this is pretty simple.
Mhm.
I shouldn't say simple. It's not simple, but it's short paragraph, 2 paragraph.
Mhm.
That's where everything is focused.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very good.
I like it.
Anybody, anything else?
Mhm.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion by Maloney, second by Zagami. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
You.
Pete, are you gonna be around tomorrow?
Couple months ago.